All right, folks. This is No Bones About Wrestling. Of course, I'm one of your
Ooh.
hosts, Asa, and right here, nope, wrong. Right there
Oh,
is my co-hostess with the mostest,
nah.
Kay Fabulous, and it is her birthday today. So happy
Happy
birthday to Kay!
birthday!
And we are lucky today to have a guest with us,
Ooh,
and he is independent wrestler extraordinaire,
that's me.
uh, White Mike.
Hi, I'm White Mike. I am fidgeting with my baby's legs right now to get her through this little. See, you have to lift her up, but that's me. This is Dad Mike right now. Y'all call it a Dad Mike, not White Mike. So right now,
All right.
I'm just hanging out with my beautiful girlfriend and our beautiful 2-month-old daughter Clementine, and it's just been beautiful. And I'm excited to be on. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Um, thank you for being here. Yeah, we appreciate it. You know, the only people that we've ever asked to be on our show so far uh,
Uh,
are are uh,
uh,
George
uh,
South, Vince Russo, and
oh
you.
wow! Oh whoa!
So
Really? Have you had all three?
no, you're the first.
Well, it's
I think
okay. I'll try
George.
to be the best bottom barrel pick you can have. Don't you worry.
No, no, dude, that's the top of the
I'd
order.
much rather talk to you than Vince Russo.
That's the top of the order, man. That's the top of the
Mm.
order.
Nah, man, George South is he's hard to come by still, man. He's still out here hustling every
Yeah.
weekend. And I think I've met Vince Russo maybe once. So I don't know his schedule, but I know he's busy. He's busier than I am. So I'll try to make this pretty good for y'all.
But yeah, we did. Like you were saying, he's a new dad. So his
New
time
girl
is
dad.
limited. A girl dad, a new
Yeah.
girl dad.
New girl dad.
Um, so we'll get right into it. Um,
I didn't.
so
Let's do it.
why White Mike? Why that name?
Why White Mike? Well, a long time ago, I grew up in North Charleston, South Carolina. I'd say I was born there in 1986. So I grew up hot and heavy during the 90s. Grew up in a predominantly black neighborhood, projects, the hood area, whatever you want to call it. Dorchester, Wayland. Very grateful to have survived that era of my life. But they always called me White Mike. And this was before like I knew of any drug dealers called White Mike or anybody, on the Wayne's Brothers, they have a White Mike. I think on The Wire, they have a White Mike. But I've
Wow.
been White Mike for a long time, man. Like my people know me as White Mike. They always greeted me. It was always a term of endearment. And with my group of friends, I was always, we always wrestled and we always played football. We would pause and play Dragon Ball Z or go watch Dragon Ball Z, then come back outside, play football, wrestle. But I always told them, I was like, man, I'm going to be a wrestler. I'm gonna take it to the next level. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I will be a pro wrestler and y'all will see me do it. And they've seen me do a lot of things. I'm still in touch with all of them to this day.
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And so your trainer, Jerry Maney, the
Uh
mortician,
the
am I right?
mortician. Yeah, man. Yeah. It's funny to hear his name said because he passed away in 2011.
I'm
He didn't
sorry.
really do much in pro wrestling, but he was a big guy. So he's this heavy set guy at like, I think at 10 years old in Cherokee, like they let him wrestle because they thought he was like 30 years old or whatever.
So,
And yeah, and he would get on and he would just do this stalker gimmick. And I just thought he was a pretty cool dude. And I saw him at an Uncle Bill's flea market wrestling match in 2004, and man, he brought the house down, and I was like, man, is there really local wrestling around me like this? That's crazy. And turns out like he lived pretty close by. I met him. He had a ring, and like probably taught me how to one of my worst lockups in history. But he got my foot in the door. I'm grateful for him. God rest his soul.
Mhm.
That's my guy, man. It's crazy.
awesome. So so you say, you were, hanging out with your friends and you were telling them, I'm going to be a wrestler one day, watch. And so what initially, either what or who initially grabbed you into wrestling?
Oh man, I can tell you right now, I don't think I watched the match when it happened, but it's Sting and Ric Flair, Clash of the Champions. It's like that 45-minute draw. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, as a kid, I'm just hooked. Like Sting could do no wrong. He was still my favorite, all-time favorite. It was just like, man, he was just captivating to see him come out, cool music, the tassels, the face paint. It's like, man, I want to be like that guy.
Mhm.
But it wasn't just him that captivated me. Like it was just all wrestling and any wrestling. Like even the bad guys. Like I love Rick Rude. I love the
Oh
Macho
yeah.
King.
Oh yeah.
Like man, there's just so I can literally anybody who decided to be a pro wrestler, I'm a fan of. Because they're putting their
Yeah, man, I
body on the
feel you.
line and they're just they're
Mhm.
so captivating. From the top of the card to the bottom, man. I watch it all. I love it.
No, no, for sure. I grew up the same way. And not about me, but I went to wrestling school too. I was the same way. Now I'm a small guy. Like I knew I wasn't gonna be a wrestler. I just wanted to do it. I wanted to learn it because I
There's
wanted to
being a
learn it.
fan, and then there's like just taking it that next level. Being a fan, it's like I want to experience going out through that curtain at least once, and I'm glad I
Yeah,
did because there's not a feeling quite like it.
yeah, no, and you're good. You're good at it too, man. People love it when you come out, and you come out. Speaking of which, you come out to "Give It to Me, Baby" by Rick
By Rick
James.
James.
So what sparked that?
Man, I love Rick James music, but I even more love the Chappelle Show episode of the E True Hollywood Story of Rick James.
Yeah.
I
Oh
even
yeah.
love the Prince one where Charlie Murphy's in both of them, but the one with Rick James is just so good because
Yeah.
anytime he would do something dastardly or something crazy, you would hear da, 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 and he'd come up and bust him in the face. I don't know. It's just I don't know. It gives me goosebumps. It really does. It's just a good song. It's just a fun song to get
Oh
people
yeah.
dancing. Like anytime they play it and they start clapping, man, I don't know why. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. I love it. It's just an infectious song.
That's a dirty ass song.
It is. I can't change it either. Like that's like my permanent good guy song. It's like I'm sorry, that's stamped. You can't get rid of it. Too hot.
Kay, have you seen that? Uh,
See the Chicago? Yeah,
what
yeah,
he's talking about? Okay, I
yeah.
don't.
Yeah, you showed it to me, I think.
Oh, that
Oh,
that
I
sounds
still
about right.
quote it to this day. I love it. That's my humor. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I
That's
love
essentially
Gage.
my character is like a loosely based, uh, it's like just Rick James type rip off from the Chappelle Show. Just like I'll start any type of trash, but then I'll cry and try to solve it. Always wearing the egg on my face. I don't know. It's a fun character to play because I really have no ego and I don't care
Mhm.
about looking stupid because I do that with pride on a daily basis.
And right, speaking of that, you're very good at keeping the wrestling feeling connected, helping the fans feel connected. Helping things feel real, keeping it that way while still injecting some comedy into it. And Kay was wanting to ask.
Oh yeah. Do you have any like theater background? Just like the way that you connect to the audience feels so just intense and
Honest,
authentic that like I was just curious if you have any kind of like training in that or if that's just like something you were born with.
I did like the tiniest bit in high school, but I tell
Mhm.
you right now, it's just growing up in a broken home, flipping
Mhm.
that, yeah, turning that dial to like either 6 or 9, LOL.
Mhm.
But when it was Dusty Rhodes, I stopped that TV on Dusty Rhodes, and I was like, man, this guy is speaking to my soul right now. I know I'm like 4, 5, or 6 years old, but what he's saying to me right now, and we're reaching through this TV together, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like, man, I remember going to kindergarten, passing out my little WWF Valentine's Day cards. Nobody wanted them, but like one of my best friends, and we like wrestled with them. And I knew from the jump I was going to be a pro wrestler. It's just
Mhm.
something, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I would say, man, those theater kids, like for real, that's a good way to do it because
Mhm.
if essentially it's kind of like for me, I learned how to be comfortable traveling to every nook and cranny around North Carolina, South Carolina, and wrestling. I'm like, if I can hold an audience of 12 people, and predominantly there's just girlfriends, on their phone or whatever, or a crowd of 15,000 or whatever,
Mhm.
it doesn't matter. A rep is a rep. But the
Mhm.
theater scene, I definitely I get that a lot. But nah, Dusty Rhodes on that TV just like making
That's
me go
awesome.
like, wow.
No, hard
Hard
times, baby.
times, baby. I was a little baby, so I didn't quite like see that. But like, my uncle was a tape trader, So he would trade, things for tapes. I ain't gonna get him in trouble, but it's whatever. It's the '90s. You had to make your money. It's whatever. But he would have all these NWA tapes, and
Awesome.
I would just play them,
Awesome.
and I would just be like, wow, this is the best. This is my life. I'm gonna do this.
Awesome. I was the same. Yeah, yeah. I was the same. I wanted to be a wrestler up until I was like 16, and I realized it was not gonna happen. But like, yeah, same. I would
It's
watch
tough to get
NWA.
into, and if you're very lucky to get into this business, which is a privilege and a brotherhood, man,
Yep.
it's painful. It's not easy. I know I come out
Yep.
and I make it look fun, but boy, I'm getting dropped on
Oh
my
yeah.
head by some big people.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, they kicked my ass, especially me being like a small guy. They kicked my ass in wrestling school. But I mean,
And that's just to see if you're going to come back the next day and the next week.
exactly,
They're,
exactly.
they're trying to break you. They will break you.
Yep.
This shit is hard, man. And I can see why sometimes while like these the professional like the jack guys look at me like I don't know about this guy. This guy, because I can do it so easily in a sense as like I can hold that crowd, but like man, they're
Yeah.
killing their bodies in the gym, and I'm just like man, another cookout tray, please, thank you. And I hate to be that guy, but I need to work on that. I've been trying to work on my body a little bit, but hey, cookout baby.
That's awesome.
I'm repping
All
for
right.
the underdogs, man. Somebody's got to do it.
So talking about NWA, and you talk about Dusty Rhodes, who were and Sting and Ric Flair, who were a couple other favorites you had.
Man, I remember sitting on my floor as a kid telling my older brother, 1993. I remember being like, "Yo, the 1, 2, 3 kid, he's about to beat Razor Ramon tonight. I feel it in my blood."
Oh,
And
oh
I swear
shit.
to God, my uncle, or not my uncle, but my uncle's watching. But my brother, is a big Razor fan. He's just like, whatever. I bet you like 5 WWF magazines or W7 magazines. I was like, deal. And sure enough, the kid hit that moonsault, bro. Oh my God. Who cares if he won 30,000 or however many, bro? I had 5 WWF magazines of my own that night. Just because, like, man, I don't know what it is. It's just, I don't know the pageantry of it, just the storytelling, just it's beautiful. Like I love all wrestling. I remember me and my best friend Antoine, we cut up long johns and we made like rocker pajama / wrestling tights, and they were so bad. Oh man, we had like shoestrings going down them. Oh golly. We would take
Wow.
like we would walk walk around in the hood and whatever. We would find old like refrigerator cardboard boxes. We would take them, we would cut them up, make the belts, and we'd have all these super belts. Uh the beauty. I just back in
Nah,
the day, man, that's what really got me into it hard.
I hear you. I hear you.
Wait, can I ask my gear questions?
You can ask whatever you want.
Okay, cool. So I have a costuming background, and so one of the things that like I find most fascinating about wrestling is like all the different gear. Who makes your gear, and like do they design it? Do you design it? Do you make your own gear? Like how does that work for
I
independent wrestlers?
I wish I made my own gear. I've
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some people sew, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I've seen people Frankenstein it too, where they like
Mm-hmm.
make it in patches of 3, and then they sew it all together, and it comes together. And I'm like, this is so outrageous. My gear person is Carrie Craven. I think
Mm-hmm.
she's, I don't know where she's based out of. I don't want to say the wrong
Mm-hmm.
information, but she does most of the AML wrestling wrestlers
Okay.
gear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always like, hey, I like leopard. I like all these colors. I like Paramore. I like all this. Blend it all together. See what we can get.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll hit up Re Carino, Colby
Mm-hmm.
Carino's wife. I'll
Yeah.
be like, hey, I have an idea. Can you draw this out for me? And like, I feel like those two ladies have helped me out a lot
Mm-hmm.
as far as coming up with cool, like a Dragon Ball Z inspired gear, or just this crazy Lisa Frank type gear I had at one point in time, all these rainbow leopard colors. Because again, when I'm coming out to Rick James and I'm dancing, people are up. They are ready to
Mm-hmm.
have fun. And so if
Yeah.
I'm confident enough to wear that, man, there's nobody can, you're just it's
Oh,
all having fun.
awesome.
So you're talking. This is kind of doesn't it's doesn't really naturally follow that question at all. It's a question I wanted to ask. You were talking about, and I've seen it too. There's in a wrestling locker room. like you were saying, whether you're wrestling for 12 people or 15,000, there's some egos in that locker
Oh
room.
my goodness, yeah.
how do you how do you traverse that?
Honestly,
And get along.
if I see someone, man, I don't know if. Let's see here. Let's not gonna answer this. Sometimes I'll egg it on if they're being like a douche or whatever. I'm like, let me try to poke that bear a little bit. Let me. What's hurting you, baby? Do you need ice cream or a CD? Because they're bringing you in. They're bringing you in. They're giving you a flight. They're giving you a hotel. What's wrong, baby? You need a hug? I'm normally the guy that can just get a laugh out of them, or
Yeah.
I try to pride myself on, hey, we just drove 15 hours to Canada. I know you guys driving from probably 10 hours which way. You guys maybe live up the street, but let's all have fun. We're all doing this to have fun real quick. We all might have problems at home with our family, our loved ones, or whatever. If I can make you forget about that bullshit on the outside for just 10 to 15 minutes in your match, or maybe 3 to 4 hours as we're standing around having fun, putting together, or, just waiting for the card to fall in our lap. I like to have fun. Sometimes I have a little too much fun when I'm wrestling in the ring, so I got to dial it back. But man, I don't know. I like to have fun. There's no reason to be upset or angry on a wrestling show day. It's like, man, that's Christmas. You ain't gonna
Exactly.
wake
Yeah.
up mad on Christmas. I don't know, but yeah,
That's
but sometimes I'm like, man, maybe I should prank these people or take it a step further. But now I'm joking. Let me stop.
no, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
No, man, I like that.
Um, so here's a question, and like I said, it seems like we had very similar upbringings. I didn't live quite as rough as you did. It
Yeah,
sounds like, um, but as far as where we were mentally, it seems like we were very close. Um, so and you seem about the same age as I, and so I know we used to do different stuff than kids did today. So I used
absolutely.
to do a lot of stupid shit. So
Yeah.
so my question is, when you were a kid, what is the closest you came to actually dying?
Oh
You
fuck.
think?
I don't know, but I was always the kid who got hurt. Like
Yeah.
like one time, like we would play football, like we would tackle in the grass, but we would two hand touch in the street. Like one time
Right.
I got tackled in the grass and like I landed on a piece of glass that ripped my leg
Oh.
open. I'm like, fuck, or like I'm playing football or I fall down and brace myself and I like break my wrist. But me being stupid and trying to be hard in the paint, playing football with my friends, I'm like, nah, let's keep going, get the touchdown. I'm like, all right, I think I'm gonna go to the doctor now. Just nothing crazy. I've had a couple fun wrestling injuries. I think right here, my little Harry Potter scar, Javon Evans, now NXT fame, gave me one of those beautiful cutters through a door, but the door happened to be laying on the rope, so it's just like it's not
Oh.
sturdy, right? So it's kind of
Yeah.
bouncy. Hashtag that boy's bouncy. How about that? That's a good tie-in. What happened that day is that door was bouncy and just split me, and I could feel my head tear open, and I
Oh my
just started
God.
leaking. I was like, oh man, this is great. I've had my lip ripped open 30 minutes into a 60-minute Ironman, and I had like spit out fat cells. That was pretty intriguing.
Ah.
It was pretty good, like
Whoa.
almost like Foley. You put my tongue through it. Um, yeah, I've had some fun stuff. I'm hurting today these days from it, but man, it was worth it. I always say, me and my buddies, we were jackass before jackass because we were always doing dumb stuff, getting hurt before like it was being. You could broadcast it live on MTV and get paid to do it. We were just being
No.
stupid. Yeah.
No.
Oh well, the
Um.
'90s and 2000s were fun. I wouldn't trade it for
Yeah,
anything.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I'm right there with you. Um. A minute ago, we were talking about you're saying talking about a 15-hour car ride, going to Canada, going here, there. I know you've wrestled internationally. Where
Yes,
have you where all have you been?
man. We would travel everywhere. I remember at one point in time, whenever it's like me, Rob Killjoy of the Ugly Ducklings, and like
Yeah.
Tracer X, all of us, the Workhorsemen, James D. Drake, even Anthony Henry. That was we called ourselves the Workhorsemen because we thought, and we are the Workhorsemen of the Carolinas, and no matter where. we could go. We were literally a show in a car. We had anything you could think of as far as tag team goes, singles go, trios goes, a manager goes, even referees. Like we had it all. We are very proud of that name. And I know Drake and I know Henry are very proud of that name. And
It's a
man,
great
it's
name.
luckily it's I've been very blessed to kind of go a lot of places. I've been around the world. I feel like a couple times. It is crazy to think because I didn't have to really pay for it. Other people took care of us. That was the cool thing about it. I remember me and my then partner at the time, Timmy Lou Retton. We wrestled the Workhorsemen, JD Drake and Anthony Henry in California in 2018. I've only been to California once. It was for that day. I got to see the Staples Center. We wrestled literally 10 minutes. I think 10 minutes from the Staples Center. My favorite basketball player is Kobe Bryant. I don't know what it was, but that match was voted in California the 5th best match in that whole state out of every big name company, WWE, New Japan, whatever. And I take a lot of pride in that because, again, I grew up poor. I grew up broke. And to think like, hey, I'm going to be a wrestler one day to, hey, somebody's going to fly you to California. You're going to put on an incredible tag team match that people still talk about. And not to brag on Drake and Henry, but they literally got off the plane. We had a match, then our match. So for them to get off the plane, punk kids from Carolina, Henry's from Georgia, to go all the way to Cali and to put our stamp in the mat the way we did there. And I don't know, man, kudos to them because they literally got flown out to another place to wrestle. And I just thought that was the most rock star shit ever because I would be tired. I don't, I'd be like, hey, I can't make it. Oh, man. But yeah, I've been fortunate, Canada, me, Billy Brass, Tracer X, and like Timmy Lou Retton one time, we all traveled to Canada 15 hours, didn't have the first argument, didn't have the first fight, got in, got out, and like they had I don't know, I can't explain it without seeming like it was crazy, but like they had main events, they had shows named after us. They treated us like royalty, like the fans in Canada. I can't explain to you, like, because sometimes, like in America, people are like, why are your shirts $20? You haven't been on TV or whatever. When some of us we have been on TV. In Canada, like, here's $100 for this one shirt. In American, not just in Canadian, but they had American money too. And so it's just like for them to be like, I don't know, like I look at it because me and Timmy, we went there in Owen Hart gear. We're out of shape. Like we're just two fat Americans and they're, the Pride Canadian Sons gear. And I just like, man, they're going to roast us. They're going to beat us black and blue to the States. And honestly, TDT, Tabernacle the Tag Team, I think they literally tried to beat the holy hell out of us in a street fight. And man, we gave it right back to them. And I don't know. I left a lot of blood, sweat, and tears in Canada. I'm very proud of the body of work we put out over there, especially with like legends as Pinky Sanchez and Sexy Eddie. People like, I don't know if you know who Sexy Eddie is, but in the CZW Deathmatch tournament in like 2005, he like rips his forearm open and he's bleeding and then he starts drinking it. And it's like,
Oh my Lord.
And then he's like shaking his shit because he's in a leopard like G-string. And you're like, man, what? This is pro wrestling. It brings everybody who you just wouldn't think would be together. And that's what I love about it, man. It's just such a lawless wasteland of misfits.
That's the best description maybe I've ever heard of pro wrestling, man.
Dude, it is. It's great. Again, I've been very lucky and very fortunate to travel around the world with some of my best friends and some people who aren't my friends anymore. But again, it's the story. It's the traveling. I'm not rich off of it, but I got some great stories. I got, some great memories.
And so we're talking about the good, talking about the bad. What are maybe the greatest misconceptions about pro wrestling?
Honestly, I think people, they're especially when they're online, they see us as like these, pretenders, you know what I mean? Like, oh, it's choreographed, it's fake. I hate that. It's not fake. It's far from fake. It might have a predetermined outcome, yeah, but like, Shakespeare, you get one take, yeah, or multiple takes in Shakespeare, right? pro wrestling, you get that one take live. It's either you get it or you don't. And sometimes it's magic. Sometimes it's like, ooh, pulling teeth. But man, it's just like you got to realize some of these guys, gals, non-binary pals, they drive 15 hours. They drive maybe 28 hours, maybe 32 hours, and then we got to stand around. Sometimes you got to put the ring together. Sometimes you got to, like, where's this guy at? He's late, whatever. It's just like so many factors that you got that weigh on you mentally, physically, and spiritually. You don't think about. But then you're like, oh, shit, I forgot to pay my water bill. Oh, shit, baby's coming. I'm not there. Oh, no, my son slipped or said some shit at school. It's just a lot of factors people don't take into consideration.
Yeah.
And it's hard, man, because sometimes, like, that's the escape. Pro wrestling is the escape, and sometimes people forget that. Like, man, we just want to have fun. We're just normal people like you. I don't know. I don't know. Thinking like, I know we look like superheroes, but sometimes, bro, they be hurting. So a lot of these people be hurting. Some days I'm not at my best, but you won't tell it. I'll never let you know because I got a good poker face.
All right, I think we're about at the time you said. Let me get one more question out of
Yeah,
it
take your time.
if we
Everything's
can.
good. The baby's not crying. I think we're doing pretty well. Whatever you got. If you got a couple more, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to ask one or do you?
Um,
I have one I want to ask.
you
So
go
okay.
first then. That's fine.
So all right, we're going to step away from wrestling for a second. Um, you just seem like a guy who's into good music. I feel that.
Okay.
Imagine you have a time machine. Name 3 musical acts you would want to see.
Oh wow. Oh man. Well, yeah, my old lady saying Project Pat like he's dead, but he's alive. I could just go see him now. Maybe we'll go see him. I want to catch a Paramore show live, just because I think Haley Williams brings energy that just cannot be matched. That tiny young lady kills it every time. Apparently, it's my celebrity pass. As far as my time machine goes, man, I would love to go back in time and like listen to like maybe Nirvana in the heart of Seattle just to see that. That'd be fire. Or who knows, maybe to go back in time, maybe to go to a Tupac concert or something. I think that'd be pretty fire. I would love to go to an ODB concert. God rest his soul. God rest all their souls, really.
Yeah.
Ooh, shredded cheese alert. Sorry, you got to feed me, I don't know. I'm a lover of all music, but man, to see Hendrix play, that would be crazy.
Oof.
Like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, to be there live and watch him like set that guitar on fire. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, that's crazy. To maybe like go back in time and watch Woodstock '99 live as an adult, because I was like a kid when it happened. But like, man, that was pretty wild.
Woodstock
Like watch,
'99 was awesome. Yeah, people don't realize it was awesome.
like man, like that was yeah, it's insane. Like to look back on it, I was like, man, just being a kid, it's like it's just going by, it's whatever. But I don't, man, that's a good question. I'd go back. I'd
Wait,
probably
was
go
it?
back and try to see it all. I would love to go back and maybe what's that? Maybe mid '80s and like see a Thin Lizzy concert. Oh man,
Awesome.
Awesome.
that would
Yeah.
be. Oh, like what if you like even if you did it in Ireland? Imagine seeing them in Ireland. Oh
Yeah.
god,
Yes. Oh,
crazy.
I'm with everything you're saying except Paramore. Paramore. I don't know who they are. I've heard the name. I don't know who they are though.
Yeah.
I'll check them out. I'll check them out.
They're a good band. People were
Yeah.
like, I used to like. Whenever I was dating this one girl, I'd make fun of her for listening to it, but then I'd be like, "Damn, that was a banger." I don't want to tell her about it though. Yeah, fake for that, but still, hey, still listen to it. Sorry.
Okay, so if you had that same time machine and you could wrestle any 3 wrestlers at the peak of their careers, what 3 opponents would you choose?
Oh my goodness, I would love to verbally joust with Roddy Piper, and
Oh,
I think that would be. I don't care if it'd be '80s or '90s Piper. Man, I could listen to him talk for hours and hours and hours and hours just about why he loves pro wrestling.
mhm.
Not just the promos in wrestling, but about why he loves it. The man was just so passionate. I never got to meet him. I wish I could meet him. Um, as far as like, man, having that technical, emotional banger, man, Eddie Guerrero. Man, if I could learn from him, I would cry buckets. I don't think there's anybody better than him. I think as far as like, man, telling that story while you're out there, if that makes sense. As opposed to like, all right, hey, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, blah 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 blah. It's like, nah, go out there, then decide what you're gonna do. Man, to wrestle Dusty Rhodes,
Mm.
I would love to go back in time and just be an enhancement for like against the LOD and just to feel
Oh.
that physical smoke that they thrown out to everybody to just be like, all right, was that certain death or was that did they take care of him? Nah, they
Yeah.
would have lit my shit up. Oh yeah, especially as goofy as I am, if I came out to Rick James back then and I was like, man, just like 2-on-1 LOD against me, oh man, they literally pull me in half. Oh man, that's a great question. I would love to go to 1995 ECW and wrestle Chris Candido and one. Or no, excuse me, Smoky Mountain. Go to Smoky Mountain Wrestling and wrestle Chris Candido in one of the hokiest but most technically worked match you can think of. Man, is I don't know. I have so many of these questions. Maybe me and Rob Killjoy, we go back in time and wrestle Public Enemy just because why not? That would be. I don't think anybody talks about Rocco Rock and
They
Johnny
don't,
Grunge
yeah.
as much as they should, especially these days, man, as far as just like tag teams who shouldn't have made it, but we're just so damn over that, oh, they made it, you know? So I don't know. Yeah, I can go on and on and on. I love pro wrestling. It's pretty cool because Cody Rhodes called me out one time and wanted a match with me. So like, man, I think that'd be fire to get that down the
Damn.
road one day. I think that'd be cool.
That's
But
awesome.
you never know. You never know, man. Yeah, I've been a fan for a long time, and I will always be a fan.
Um, what hmm, what's your favorite stipulation
My
to wrestle?
favorite. When they give me a time frame and they say, "Hey, you got 4 minutes, brother. Have fun." And I'm like, "Woo! 4 minutes? You got it, dude." No, I don't know anything. I really like hardcore, like the brawling aspect, like like a good Extreme Rules type match is what they call it these days. Back in the days, it's a hardcore match where
Yeah.
you can just brawl around anywhere. Like the Texas Death Match, like remember like Vader, Cactus Jack.
Yes.
Like
Yep.
those back in the day, like those are just like those type of matches.
Halloween Havoc '93. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I'd even do a coal miner's glove on a pole match. Why not? Just
Lord.
cause. I don't know. I just think like the more wacky the stipulation, the better. Like I think we just did a GCW show in Philly, and I think that it was like the 84-man Rumble, but before that they had like it was like an 8-team or a 4-team Punjabi prison tag team match. It was
Oh my
just so
Lord.
absurd to watch them
I didn't
build
know.
it
I
the
didn't know you
whole
wrestled.
day. Because they literally took the whole day to build that structure, and literally right up until like it's like go on stream. It's so funny, man. Like I think it, yeah, the wackier the better because I will go all out no matter what.
I didn't know you wrestled for them. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Me,
it was like the
very fortunate.
clusterfuck. What was it? The clusterfuck battle royal or something like that?
I
What was the name
think
of it?
so. Yeah, it was like
Yeah,
84 people. It was like the
yeah.
most ever. It was absurd.
I got to
It was
start
like
watching.
3 o'clock in the morning, and we're like still trying to warm up in the Philadelphia cold that's rocking your knees. I'm like, oh,
Oh.
yes, I do want to be here.
Man, everything I hear about them,
Not JCW.
GCW, I want to watch them. Man,
Yeah.
I
You
never
should.
watched
You
them.
should
And
go
I
out of
will. I
your way to
will. I
watch
will.
them, man,
Yeah.
because they do some good stuff. They've taken care of me and my partner many times, and they, sometimes when they're in the Carolinas, they'll let us pop in and do some tag team or do a scramble, and I'm grateful for them. Yeah, you should definitely check out GCW. Game Changer Wrestling is definitely game changer indeed.
I definitely will. Yeah. Everything I hear about them always like piques my interest. So yeah, for
Oh yeah,
sure.
man. I think they're one of the top promotions going right now. I really think they do definitely in that top 5. I would say like they have a crazy cult following, and again, yeah, they're just good people, my opinion.
Cool, cool.
So, what wrestler on the independent scene do you think that people are like currently sleeping on that they need to start paying attention to?
Oh my goodness, that's I don't know. There's so many.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many people that I felt like were slept on. I felt like guys like Lucky Ali and then Javon Evans and Jackson Drake are all slept on. Sean Legacy, those guys are all, but now they're all, they're getting there. Like Legacy and Jackson Drake just got the WWE ID. Saquon Sugars is in NXT. Javon Evans NXT. Man, I'll tell you right now, the best thing I can tell you is just to keep going. Keep going. Even if you see this and you're a pro wrestler, you're like, I don't know what to do. Keep going. Don't work harder, just work hard. And it's going to pay off. It will pay off because it paid off for me. And I'm telling you right now, there's a lot of time that I wasted BSing around that I wish I could have back, but I can't because, time is so ever so elusive. But I can tell you right now, is to hunker down and get your shit together because pro wrestling is, it's beautiful to see. There's a lot of good going on right now, especially with this ID program and just other places in general. I think if you're working hard and you're busting ass, then I think you're slept on, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
So you don't think and I'm not saying this is what I think. I'm just saying I've seen a lot of people online say this. It sounds like you don't think the WWE ID is like, oh, the sky is falling. They're killing the indie scene again, like they did in the
That's
'80s.
you're providing work for people that are working hard. Not everybody's gonna get that. I don't think I'm gonna get it.
That
But
would be awesome.
it would be. It really would
That'd
be.
be fucking
I'd be
awesome.
very
Yeah.
grateful. I really would.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of people that work hard. There's a lot of people that necessarily like they can skip that line if that makes sense. Like, man, there's people that just
Yeah.
get it quicker. They look the part. They look. That's what I'm looking for. Type. Hey, bring them in. But I think it's a good thing because as more people get ID'd or more people
Yeah.
go up, that brings other people up as well.
Right.
And
Right.
there's a
Just
long
yeah.
list out here.
Well, yeah. I hope you get it. You're more entertaining than most of the WWE roster. I'll tell you that.
Man, I'm
To
38 though,
me.
so they
To
look
me.
at me as another
Yeah.
dog.
Hey, DDP.
That's
You know,
true.
DDP.
DDP, Dave
Sting, he just
Batista.
retired and he's like 60, what was he, 64?
Or Sting,
Yeah.
right? Sting was still fucking jumping off
Yeah.
Diamond Dallas Page was 72 in 1985, so I think he's 115. He's a wizard, man. Like he looks even better now
Yeah, he
than he
really
did in
does.
if you look at him in 95 and you look at him now, you're like, there's no way.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I agree.
Not
He
the
looks
same people. Yeah. But that is
he's,
true. It's not how you start, it's how you finish, man. If I'm telling you, if you just work hard, you can do it. Anybody can do it. Because I did it. So now I'm just having fun and I'm focusing on being there for the kids more. Because I've been wrestling for 17 years, going into my 18th year. So I've been relatively injury free. So the goal is to just stay healthy, have fun, and to keep aspiring to inspire. There it is.
there you go. So as that was going to be my next question, actually, as a as a as a father and a partner, um, with kids, how tough is that to balance, life on the road sometimes and with fatherhood.
It's very tough because like I said, I started in 2007. I had my first baby mama and my boys. It was very tough. Wasn't making a lot of money. I was being told I wasn't going to do this. I can't do that. She stopped, kind of believing in me. And at that point in time, I kind of stopped believing in me, and that kind of wore on our relationship. And I ended up leaving, and that was a hard thing for me to do because I had to leave my boys, and I didn't have anything. I didn't have anybody except for like a friend I had made at an offhand job at a movie theater. He took me in, and I literally had to start from scratch. And from 2016 on to literally like last year to now, I'm scratching, I'm clawing, I'm going from couch to couch. I'm leaving these high end jobs to start teams that's failing, or I'm leaving these places where I'm living to go live with 3 to 4 other wrestlers in a house, and it's not panning out. I'm like, man, what do I gotta fucking do to catch a break? And then I realized I gotta really take care of myself. I gotta be there for me. So when pandemic hit, oh, it was a blessing for me because I got my shit together. I made sure like all my school shit was done. I went and I got a better job. I got a land surveying job, which I don't do anymore. But like I just did a lot of shit that I needed to do that I should have already had done. You know, essentially set myself up with the robust tools to help me live a good life. And I'm so glad I did because eventually down the road, I went to a sweet karaoke bar in Waynesville, North Carolina, and I met the love of my life. And now we have a beautiful daughter together. And it couldn't have come at a better time because I'm in the best mindset. I'm in the best physical condition I've ever been in as far as like me personally, mentally, spiritually, and my wrestling goes. So I'm just saying you can fail a lot in pro wrestling, but you can also just stand your ass right back up and be a man and be accountable and really get your shit together. It can be done because I've done it. I've done it more than once. But this time I like, I like where I'm at. I'm gonna stay right here because my life is good.
That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Yeah. Um,
Oh yeah,
I'm
Again,
I'm very
I
happy
wore a
for
lot of
you.
shit for a long time. I got egged on for a long time because I'm a fun wrestler. I like to put the joke first more than I put the wrestling sometimes, and that's why some of my peers they get a little mad, but it's okay because I do love pro wrestling. I would die for this business, which is silly, but I would. But now I appreciate the little things more because again, I'm 17 years in. I'm 38. Like I don't need to be going through windows and sleeping on couches, baby. I got a lock and key. I got a bed. I got a beautiful, big, bulky girlfriend right there. I got a beautiful baby, and life is good. That's how you make it, man.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I'm happy for you too. I've
Wow.
a lot of parallels the in our lives. It sounds like that's yeah. I've been there, starting over with nothing. I've been there, and it
Sucks. It's
sucks.
not
It
fun. And
sucks.
you're like, man, how do I do it? Do I do
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Should I even try? Yes, you should.
Yep,
No matter
yep.
what, man. Keep going. Keep
Yep.
going. Because I could have easily rolled over and just be in the wind or, just be a
Yeah,
speck of dust somewhere. But nah, I chose to get off my ass. I chose to better myself. And I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I did. And again, as much as I pride myself on myself inside the ring, I'm very much priding myself on what I'm doing outside of the ring. So if I can inspire other people to do better outside of the ring, I definitely want to do that.
so talking about outside of the ring, what hobbies do you have outside of the ring?
Man, I literally just work and then I wrestle and then I take care of the baby. But I like to play video games. I love video games.
Yeah,
I've been
man.
playing a lot of Dragon Ball Z games. I play a lot of Pokemon games.
I,
Um,
I figured you got the Gengar tattoo.
Absolutely. I love to play football. I love to play basketball. I like to play sports. I'm just I like my girlfriend. She has me doing outside activities, which I think is great. That's the
Yeah,
love of my
Sometimes.
life. Sometimes if she'll let me. No, she lets me. I'm just joking. Yeah, I just like to just have fun. I never thought of myself as a karaoke guy, but again, that's how I met her doing karaoke. You know, just having fun, just doing different things, getting out of the house, and
yeah,
realizing the precious time that we have. You really got to take
exactly.
full advantage of it.
Damn right. That's damn right.
Well, I gotta ask, what's like your go-to karaoke song? Like, what's your favorite thing that
Oh,
just like belts your heart out to?
Faithfully by Journey.
Ooh,
Oh
wow.
yeah, I will bring the house down every time. Or if I'm feeling it, like I like to do Beastie Boys. I'll sing a Beastie Boys song. But yeah, Faithfully by Journey. Any Journey song really. They literally, as soon as I come in, they'll play it and just shove a microphone. And I'm like, bro, I haven't even had 4 beers yet.
I would
Oh
love
yeah.
to hear that. I'd love to hear it, man.
I hope we can do like a wrestlers like karaoke one night because I would do it. I so would, man. I
That's
think it's
Do it.
great.
awesome.
Do it at WrestleCade.
Yeah.
There's still
I
time to organize it.
I'll just grab a microphone and just start singing. That'd be great.
Yeah, do it at WrestleCade. There's still time to get it going. Let's get it
I
going.
will be at WrestleCade all 3 days, so that's a good
Awesome.
tie-in for sure.
Speaking of which, yeah, we'll be there. Saturday,
Yeah.
maybe
Okay.
another day, but
Yeah.
definitely Saturday.
Yeah.
Nice, nice.
So speaking of WrestleCade, um, yeah, and if you're watching, it's in Winston Salem. It's right after Thanksgiving, Friday, Saturday,
Oh yeah.
Sunday.
Yep. I think it
And
was
everybody's
28
there.
or 29th, 30th, and the 1st, I do believe.
Mhm.
Benton
Yeah.
Convention Center in Winston-Salem. Don't miss it. It's going to be crazy, crazy amount of wrestling in 3 days. You got TNA's Victory Road on Friday. You got the Super Show on Saturday. You got AML's wrestling the day after on Sunday. There's so much wrestling, and there's also a bunch of stuff in between. And yeah, I got to get my energy drinks lined up.
What all were you going to be a part of that weekend?
I have no idea. I know Saturday and Sunday I got something going on for sure. Friday, I'm not sure if I'll just be kicking it at my booth or who knows what might happen. I'll never tell. And I just because you never know. You could just go there and you're like, oh, I'm gonna set up. Next thing you know, you're doing security, or next thing you know, you're somewhere. You just never know. You got to be in the right place at the right time. And that's what I love about AML Wrestling and Tracy Myers and Brian Hawks. They put on WrestleCade every year, and it's literally wrestling Christmas, Thanksgiving weekend. I feel like such a kid. I have so much fond memories for over 10 plus years. So I'm very grateful because for a long time, I was on the outside looking into that place. And then like I had, to main event a couple times and like hear the people chant my name every year. It's not lost on me. I'm so grateful. I really am. I love it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. We
Oh yeah.
weren't able to go last year,
Ooh,
but
it's
this
okay.
year we've already paid for our tickets. We're gonna be there, and I can't wait.
It's gonna be the best.
So, and speaking of it, being like wrestling Christmas, is there anybody who's gonna be there who you would like mark out for to see?
I don't know. See, like I don't know if I'm past my marking phase, which is a lie because
Right.
I mark out for wrestlers. I do. But I like seeing my kids mark out for wrestlers. I
I
know
got
my
you.
oldest is going to flip out for Darby Allin. I know my
Yeah,
oldest
man.
is going to flip out. Like, I can't wait to see him be shy whenever he's like, hey, I'm like, yo, this is Tony Storm. You're going to meet Tony Storm. And he's going, like, I more or less really live to see my kids' faces and their experiences with the wrestlers because I mean, last year they got to meet Jeff Hardy in the locker room and they're just talking to him and they're just like, man, that's a legend we just talked to. I couldn't believe we got to talk to Jeff Hardy. And I was just like, it's you just don't know till you go and then you just experience it and you just like, I don't know. I love it. I always like to reflect afterwards too, after everything and man, I just can't wait.
Yeah. No, I cannot wait. Let's see. Um, just jumping into questions now.
No worries, no
Trying to
worries.
jump around. What to you? What's the coolest looking wrestling belt
The
you've ever
coolest
seen?
looking wrestling belt.
Yeah. Do you have any
Oh
opinion on
wow.
that?
Oh man. Always for me it was the big gold.
Yeah.
Always like when they had it as the international title, I always thought like, oh man, that's a prestigious belt.
Yeah.
And then like it was like the big gold, but it had like the bend at the top. If you remember that one, it's like a small
Yeah.
bend or whatever. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I wanted that belt. We would always
Yeah.
make it out of like aluminum foil, cardboard, and we'd spray paint it gold. Like that was my favorite belt.
Me
I
too,
think
man.
of all
Yep.
time.
Rick Rude, Ric Flair. Who else?
Absolutely. I
Who
think
else?
even Sting had it. I was at the
Sting.
Clash of the Champions in '94 when he unified it against Ric Flair. I
Right.
was like
Okay. Yep.
probably 7.
Wow. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, I really think like that big gold belt. Even when they brought it back, Triple H was like, I guess they handed it to him or whatever. But then he ripped off like a 10-month run. But yeah, that was always my favorite one. I really love
Yep.
that belt. I don't think
Me too.
anything comes close. I really don't. It's just I don't know.
Yeah. Me
Stickler
too.
for that
That's
time, man. I love that belt. And maybe the ECW television title. when Van Damme
Yes.
had it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah.
really like that one. That one was cool.
I hear you there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same. That's why I got it behind me.
Nice. Yeah. See,
So,
that's the one,
um,
man. I love it. That's like one of
yeah.
my favorite ones.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
And the undisputed one, the one that Brock and Eddie had. That one was just, I don't know. I like that one a lot
Oh,
too.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I did like when they had like the big gold and the WWF title as the undisputed title, but like when they brought it, like, is that the black with the gold? I don't know. It looked really good. And maybe the SmackDown tag team titles. Now I think about it, when they first came back in 02 with the blue outline on it. Oh,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
fire.
Okay.
Me just
Um,
thinking in my head, man, what belt looks good? Yeah, that one looks good.
hey, no, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Because it's like sometimes it's like you think of them as higher than they really are because they look cooler than other belts. That's me
Yeah,
at least.
absolutely. I'm like, well, that one sticks out. That one's cool.
Yeah.
I
Um.
was always a fan of the WCW United States title.
Yes. Yeah.
I
Definitely.
love that one. I don't know, just those
Where's
old
that?
belts, man. They hit.
Yeah, that one's right over there.
Oh yeah, nice. See,
Yeah.
yeah, man. Or the WCW tag team titles, the oval ones, like the Scott Hall, like the one he had with like the missing name plates on the side. Like I really
Yeah.
like those old school ones. Yeah.
Huh.
Oh yeah. I
All
love
right.
it,
We
man. Can't get enough.
haven't talked too much about this. Some of your favorite opponents to wrestle?
Oh man. I don't know if y'all know him or have interviewed him or have interviewed me. Rob Killjoy is essentially a guy who's been helping me get better since like 2007. I think he started in 2004. He used to team with Lance Luthor, the Ugly Ducklings.
Yeah.
We are the Ugly Sucklings because obvious reasons. I really think anytime I'm on a card with him or against him or in a multi-man match or whatever, just to hear him put stuff together, it's insane. I think he's very underrated. I think he has helped so many people in the Carolinas structure a match the proper way. Always brings out the fight in me. Man, anybody really, any and everybody. I love wrestling. Colby Carino was really fun. We brawled and wrestled everywhere.
Hmm.
I'm getting ready to wrestle Billy Brash. I think the 23rd in Georgia.
I
I love
love them.
wrestling
I love
Billy.
them. Yeah.
Billy's so good. I think he's underrated. Actually, yeah, my girlfriend just said Top Dollar. I'd
Yeah.
actually that's like somebody I'm like, all right, I don't see myself wrestling or feuding with because I wasn't necessarily watching at the time,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. But
Yeah.
to meet him and to hear how he like structures things and how he approaches pro wrestling, I think he's one of the coolest dudes you can meet or possibly interview. I think Top Dollar is
Hmm.
very underrated, in my
Okay.
opinion, as far as somebody who got fired but hit that Cardona in a sense as like he's leveling up way more right now than what he was while he was signed in the Fed, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I really like my matches with him. Brad Attitude, I had a nice little series with him.
Hmm. Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
Um,
we were there for some of that. Yeah.
that's a same thing in the sense as like I didn't really see myself working with that guy, or just like I don't really value myself, if you can tell. But man, you put me in there with him. We made magic. We had a nice
Mhm.
Yeah.
47-minute scaffold match. I think the first ever
Yeah,
at
that was our first match
Winston-Salem.
we saw you
That
in.
was
Yeah.
exactly.
Really?
Yep.
Oh my
Yep.
gosh, that
Yeah.
match was crazy.
Yeah, it was
That was
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like crazy. I couldn't believe. I was like, man, we're out there for like almost an hour, and I just feel like they were so loud the whole time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like it was insane. And then he took that plunge. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
hey, better
That
you than
was
me.
that was our
Uh,
first AML show, and we were like, yeah, we were coming. We were coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
and if you remember, they didn't have a sway brace at the top of it. So when I'm at the top, it's just wobbly.
I
So if
do
I'm
remember.
if
I was very
I'm
nervous for you. Yeah.
so if I'm like, not in my right frame of mind, I go up there and I lose, my equilibrium's off, brother. That's the fall. You're falling either
Mhm.
Yeah.
backwards or forwards. But no, that one was a lot of fun. We had an I Quit steel cage match with Earl Hebner as the referee.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. We were there for that too. Yeah.
I ended up losing, but like that one, I don't know. That was so much fun. Like I never
Mhm.
saw myself representing AML as their champion and being able
Yeah,
to
well,
have a lengthy program with him and to defend the championship. It was a lot of fun. My kids got to see that, and I think that's what really mattered the most to me is they got to see that and they liked that. So very blessed. Again, I'm a blessed man.
yeah, those. It was awesome to see you as champion. I would love
Yeah.
to see it again.
Yeah.
Man,
People would love it.
I know my kids keep bringing it up. I hope I can get it one more time. I always say I'm the one in the one star, so we'll see.
People love it. If either you or George South got it, I think would be like
Ooh,
the hugest pop for AML.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think one of the biggest baby faces right now, AML's got Gustavo. If he
No,
was to
he
get
is
it,
for sure. Yeah,
I'm telling you, he comes out, throws a rose, and gets that championship. That place is gonna blow up, man. It
Yeah.
really
people.
is.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Yeah.
He's way over for sure.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, oh yeah. One of my favorite guys. I really like Gustavo. He actually got a spot in AML wrestling because I think either I had gotten COVID or I think I got like a concussion the night before. I can't remember the one I did. Whichever it was, but he was all like, "Man, I didn't want to take your spot." I said, "Brother, you earned that. You didn't take my spot. You were put in that spot because you were ready. So you did the rest." So I'm a big fan of Gustavo. I love seeing him shine. I love seeing the whole crew shine. I really do. Because I'm older now. I'm just like, man, I'm just happy to be there, happy to be that good hand. And I'm just like, man, it's beautiful to see the team win. And AML has been winning month after month, year after year, especially with WrestleCade. I'm blessed to be a part of it.
That's been awesome. Yeah, it's been just as a fan, it's been lucky. We've been lucky to have y'all here. Yeah,
Yeah.
because there's independent wrestling here, there, and everywhere, and some of it is really shitty.
Ooh,
And
brother, yes.
so we are
Ooh.
so lucky because
Yeah.
AML is really not like that. I mean, we can tell that everybody is trying to put on the show that they can, and you can tell that Tracy like really puts his heart into it, and
He does,
yeah,
man. And
yeah,
then
we
some.
appreciate it.
I
Yeah,
love Tracy because on show day, you'll see him dragging 17 chairs. He's on the phone with somebody. He's
yeah,
trying to line up this, line up that. He's telling people where to put the cameras. Like, man, he
Mhm.
does not stop. He
Yeah.
consistently and constantly works like that. Like, there's a reason, man, why he's successful. And he's definitely a big part of it. Everybody, the whole team's a big part of it. But Tracy, he's just, man, he's a businessman.
Mhm.
hmm
Keeps it rolling.
So you got time for a couple more questions or
I'd probably do about one or two more. Yep. Maybe
okay,
still,
okay,
yeah, we're good.
I got you, I got you.
Oh yeah, we're
Two
good.
more. You want to pick one?
I want to know about the Sultan of Stank. Where
Oh,
did
the salt,
where that nickname come from? I love
man.
it.
I honestly, I'm not even sure where it came from. Where it's just like, I look at people and I'm like, hi, how am I going to get people to connect? What I need like a cool moniker. Like
Mhm.
I feel like I probably came up with it, but I feel like somebody might have given it to me. Might have gave it to me as well. I'm not sure, but once I heard it, I'm like, oh, that's good. The Sultan
Yeah.
of Stank. Like, oh, okay, yeah, it's like something you hear, like, oh, I like that. I'm
Mhm.
put the stamp on that.
Yeah.
I just think like, I'm a funky character. When I'm shady, I get do some dirty things. So I'm just like, man, yeah, I could be the Sultan of Stank. Bringing that funk like no other. Rob Killjoy calls me I think a burning, churning urn of funk. So yeah, I really do like it as well. I think it's I can't necessarily pinpoint where I got it from, but
Yeah.
I know it's stuck and I love it. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
am the
awesome.
Sultan of Stank.
All right, I'm gonna sneak in two more then.
Okay.
Um, what are people's initial reactions when you tell them you're a pro wrestler?
Oh man, this is actually really good. Because I don't look like a pro wrestler at the end of the day. I'm kind not really heavy set, but like, I probably in a lot of the peers' eyes, I probably look like a guy who works at McDonald's, right? But I'm 6'1", I'm 235 pounds. I'm pretty athletic. Like people don't know, like, I play
Yeah,
ball, I
yeah.
play sports, like, and shit, we ran all the time in the hood, so like I still got some legs on me. Um, my favorite thing is like you'll hear people talk like, oh, he doesn't look the part, he should be in the ring, blah 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 blah. So I do this on purpose. So I come out, I dance. Oh, I'm so fun, I'm so cool, Rick James, give it to me, baby. But I do this entrance where I bounce off the top rope and I cut a head flip and I go into a roll and I hold the pose and they're like, what? And I remember specifically one time, and it was my first ever shot for AML. They're doing like an open tryout. You had to pay to get in, right? And all these wrestlers were there watching. It was like Sanjay Dutt. It was Farouk. Ron Simmons was watching. I was like, what?
Oh,
Colt Cabana, James Storm, like all these wrestlers. And so they're having this 30-man battle royal. And they're like, all right, battle royal is up next. Get in line. And everybody's like, panicking, right? And I snuck in. I didn't pay the fee to get in. I showed up, but I had my gear, and I told the guy, I was like, "This is my name. This is where I'm from." And I go out, and it's packed house. I notice, man, Jeff Jarrett sitting right there, Sanjay Dutt, Colt Cabana. It's literally wrestlers all the way around the ring, and I'm just like, roar the crowd, but like, oh man, oh I got it. Okay, so I go in, hit my head flip entrance. I literally see Jeff Jarrett and Sanjay Dutt's jaw drop to the floor like a cartoon, like the whole like, ah! I'm like, holy shit, okay, I got him on my entrance. Bet. So they see the athleticism. So now tap into that theater, right?
Yep.
People start coming in. I notice I think her name's Carly Shay, Sahara 7. She's like one of the only females in there. I say, hey, when they ring the bell, slap me. She goes, what? I said, just slap me when the bell rings. Bell rings. Everybody's quiet and timid, right? They don't know what to do. Most people, I'm just, I've already planted the seed. So she smacks me. I scream like one of those. Man,
Yeah.
the place came up. I was in that battle royal for maybe 2 minutes. That battle royal went on for 30 minutes. I remember getting in the back. I was the first one out. I hear a guy come. I literally beeline to Ron Simmons because he's just sitting there. He's like, man, when you went out there, man, you did that. That was fucking cool, man. And I'm just sitting there like, oh wow, because I watched him win the WCW title from Vader. So I'm like, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Not only that, like
First.
I know his football, I know his collegiate stats.
Yep.
I'm marking out. But then I hear
Yeah.
somebody talking to Tracy Myers, and they go, "Where's that white Mike guy?" And I was like, "Oh, that sounds." And sure enough, it was Jeff Jarrett. And Jeff Jarrett came and
Wow.
found me and proceeded to put me over all night long. And I think a lot of people probably got mad, but like, man, it was one of those nights where it's like, yeah, I might not look the part, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna go 100,000% to show you that, man, I got the part.
Yeah.
I
No.
I got some sort of this, you know what I mean? Like I don't know, I got it. I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna make it work. And yeah, I literally just did security work for AEW, I think this past August. And sure enough, Jeff Jarrett was there and we talked about it, and it was just so cool. Just really cool because like, it's not like you're making them eat their words. Because you should look the part in pro wrestling. You should look like a pro wrestler. I'm slack on that. I'm not gonna lie, but like Kevin Owens don't have to look like that. All these, Bastion Booger didn't look like that. I'm
Hey, Mr. Booger.
not comparing the two, but like you're allowed to have a different body. Dusty Rhodes didn't look like that.
Right.
So
What's his name?
I feel like if I'm putting my heart and soul into it and I'm not bullshitting, don't worry about how my body looks because I got this crowd right in the palm of my hand, right there.
Adam Cole. Oh, that was another one I was gonna think of. People talk about a lot
Right, talk
lately.
about the size issue. It's like, well, he might, he might be 5'10". Who knows? I don't know his size, but that dude can work. That brother can work 60, 80 minutes like it's nothing.
But yeah, to talking about standing out. when we left that first AML show, you were definitely our favorite
Yeah.
in
Oh,
the company for sure. Yeah.
oh, thank
And
you
we were
so.
also at that AEW show where you were working security, and we like
Yeah.
freaked out.
Yeah, we
saw
kept
you.
like, "Why, Mike?" We're like, "Yeah,
Oh, that's so
German,"
cool.
because we saw some other people,
Yeah,
some other
well, the
people like
Dawsons
recognized you, and you were
definitely,
like, "Shh."
Yeah, I was like, ooh, don't. Right.
That was funny,
No,
man.
that was a lot of fun. My kids were there. My girlfriend bought them tickets so they could go. So it was one of those things where it's like, man, would I ever get that? Will I ever get it? And then they hit me up saying, hey, you not only did you get it, but you're invited. But to have my kids see that after all those years, it was really cool to go up those steps and to see them all waiting there, and then explain to them, and it was just really awesome. I would never have the words for that. That's the flowers in a sense, right there.
Yeah.
That was awesome. It was very cool to see you. It was, yeah,
Oh
it was
yeah,
exciting. We were freaked out. We freaked out.
I I ate a lot of catering that night. It was half less.
uh,
They say, "Oh, you doing
okay.
security?" I said, "Okay, let me get some more of them pork tenderloins. Thank you." Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. Last question, and we'll wrap things up here. And thank you again for
Yeah, thank you so much.
being here. And
Yeah.
No problems. I'm
Thank you
glad we
for
got
your
it figured
time.
out and got it to work. This has been a lot of
yeah,
fun.
yeah, for
This has been,
sure.
I think, my first podcast in a very long time. So I'm trying to shoot straight from the heart and not bullshit. So it's
Yeah,
been a
we
lot of fun.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we wanted to have you on the show because I felt like that's the kind of guy you were.
Yeah.
You know, I felt like the guy who sells the T-shirt with the Ninja Turtles with green jizz everywhere.
Uh,
Would be.
uh. Anytime the kids come up to the table, I quickly flip that shirt over. I'm like, look at these over
That's it. I
here.
got that shirt. I
Yeah.
bought that shirt.
Yes, golly. One time I was gonna sell it to a kid. I was like, "Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, my mom said it was cool." I said, I flipped it over. He goes, "Oh, I can't wear that."
She tells
uh,
me,
I told him he's not allowed to leave the house.
we'll see. We'll see.
oh my goodness, it's definitely a conversation starter.
Yeah.
I think
I love
Martin
it.
Harris.
I'm a teacher. I can't have him wearing that next to me out in public. Like, that's not an option.
I
I
love
think
it.
I might have
I
got
love
a wrestler fired from his job from that shirt too. It's pretty wild. Like that shirt is controversial. It's one of my
I
favorite
love it.
movies as a kid, but
Oh yeah,
that's
dude.
just my
Yeah.
humor,
Yeah.
Man, when the first Turtles movie came out in my town, and I grew up in High Point, North Carolina,
Oh,
there was
nice.
there was a fucking line, through the theater parking lot, like down the sidewalk, and they had people dressed like ninjas on top of the
Uh,
movie theater doing karate and stuff.
that's
It was
so
like
man.
it was such a big thing. The turtle movies,
And see, like I love the first one, but the second one, bro, it just goes so hard. I love it. I was like, how can I
Yeah.
ruin this for everybody? And I think I did a good. I think I got a
um,
new one coming out, like a Toxic Avenger parody.
oh, cool.
Now I'm gonna call it the Toxic Avenger, and I'm gonna have my old lady on my arm like that. And I'm gonna have a broom. Yeah, it's just a whole mop. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Probably have the baby in that
Nice.
one too.
I think I'll end up with another White Mike shirt. Yeah.
If you're at
But,
WrestleCade, I'm gonna have a lot of shirts. So this is the most prepared I've ever been for WrestleCade. I have like over 10 designs. I got exclusive that weekend designs, even action figures, hats, all
oh
kinds
shit.
of stuff.
White Mike action figures.
Somebody said they're gonna have me some action figures. I'm looking to at least have
Oh,
50. So
Dude,
I'm hoping that they look pretty good. So
how much?
that's
How
excited.
much are
awesome.
you? How much are you
I'm
thinking?
not sure. I think we're gonna do like a combo package deal. It's like a WrestleCade Gengar inspired themed shirt, 8x10 cards, and action figure as like this one big congealed deal. I'm not sure the price yet, but I might put some feelers
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I will have plenty of them. I promise.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. We will have money.
Yes.
Ooh, I
We-
do like money. Money is good.
I think the people, just a real quick talk about who we're gonna want to see at WrestleCade. Who we're going? Well, we're going to see everybody, but the people who we're going to give money to at WrestleCade, I think who is it going to be? Darby Allin,
Yeah.
Oh man.
Tony Storm,
Right?
Lex Luger.
Right? Oh,
Uh,
you got to.
Yeah.
who else?
I want to see Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa.
Thunder Rosa is so nice. She is one of the
Yeah.
nicest souls I have ever met in pro wrestling. She will go out of her way and literally give you the shirt off of her back. Like she's
Yeah.
great people.
That's
Oh,
awesome.
Dennis Rodman,
Yeah.
of course.
I'm hoping he's in the battle royal because then I could say I was in a battle royal with Dennis Rodman. I really
I,
hope. My
I
fingers are
definitely
crossed.
want to. Dennis Rodman's had such an interesting life. He's such an
Uh,
interesting guy. Yeah,
the
and I
story
love the.
he has, I can only imagine.
Say what?
The stories.
The
Oh, the stories
stories
he
that
has.
oh my goodness.
NWO for life too. You know.
Bro, I'm saying you're training for the big basketball game. You're in the finals. The next thing you know, you're on Nitro the next night.
Yeah.
Get cigars with Hollywood Hogan. Oh man, I remember that like it was yesterday. I thought it was the coolest
Yep.
shit. The NBA and WCW, like
Me
what?
too.
Oh, it's the best.
I love those Bulls team. Michael Jordan is like my favorite person that I've never met. You know.
He's a goat, man, for sure. One of
Yeah.
the greatest of all time. Like definitely made the '90s, late '80s exciting to watch. Even like the early 2000s when he played for the Wizards. I don't care, man. I just appreciate great athletes, and yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
for it, that's for sure. And so did Rodman. I can't wait to meet Rodman. I don't think I've met him. Um, yeah, I'm excited to meet a lot of wrestlers too, and try to stay at my table and make some money as well. But I'm just going to be like a kid at Christmas because
Yeah.
I'm okay. It's the best.
I can't wait. Yeah. And Butterbean. That was the last one I didn't mention.
Oh
Butterbean.
man, Butterbean's going to be there.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't know
Yeah.
that.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you seen his? Have you seen him recently? Like he has turned his life around.
I did. I just found out about all that last night. Searching about
It's
him.
insane the way like
Yeah.
how he couldn't walk. Like he was that was it. Like he was on his
Yeah.
deathbed, and now like
Yeah.
Dallas
I,
Page and
I
DDP
thought he was
has
dead. Honestly.
Oh, is that
the
he
way
did
he
with
was
DDP
walking.
yoga?
Yep.
Yeah,
Wow.
he got on the DDP yoga and like this man has lost the weight. He's able to move again. Like again, if you watch that documentary with Diamond Dallas Page bringing him in, it's like it'll break your heart because the man could barely walk. And so now he's back to getting bookings. That's beautiful.
That's
That's
awesome.
incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah. DDP is the man. I mean, the stuff he's done for Jake Roberts and Mick Foley and
Scott, the late
ooh, ooh,
Scott Hall, like
oh
man, he
yeah,
Scott Hall.
really
Scott.
he gave us he's giving us more years with our favorites, and I
Mhm.
I don't think anybody could appreciate or thank that man enough. It's
Yeah,
insane.
I agree. I agree.
Absolutely.
My last question, talking about our favorites, talking about Michael Jordan, the goat. Uh, Mount Rushmore wrestling. Who four wrestlers? Who's on your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
I don't know because it would be had to be for my Mount Rushmore of pro.
Yours. Yeah, yours.
Um, again, the one who started it all for me would be Sting.
Yeah.
The one it's hard. It's really hard to just narrow it down because I'm a fan of all wrestlers, but my Mount Rushmore for me it would have to be Sting, Kurt Angle.
Oh
It would
yeah.
have to go. I would say Eddie, and I'm not gonna lie. As I get older, the '02 comeback Shawn Michaels on. We all know the '90s Shawn Michaels is great, but like for him to be like, all right, I really need to fix some things. I kind of was an asshole. Let me find Jesus and find a hot fucking comeback. And brother, I'm gonna run hot for a few years. I really think that Shawn Michaels from like '02 to when he retired was like the man.
Mhm.
The man. Then I got like a heel Mount Rushmore. It would be like, Ric Flair, Rick Rude. I was really a huge fan of Terry Gordy and Dr. Death as a combo. So that counts as three. And then my four as heel goes, I really enjoyed Vader. Big Van Vader.
Oh yeah. Oh
He
yes.
petrified as a kid.
Mhm.
That's for me. I could go Mount Rushmore's for any and everybody, but those are like the ones that stick out for me that just like had me like, oh, okay, me. Might not be everybody's cup of tea, but yeah, that's for me.
Awesome. No, yeah, yeah. I mean, those are all good picks to me. Yeah. Um, well, Mike,
Yeah.
thank you very much for joining us. It's been
Thank
fun. It's been interesting.
Oh yeah, there's
Um,
been a lot of fun. Oh yeah, I've been eating
yeah,
noodles.
yeah. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all. Thank
And
y'all for having me. It's my first one in a long time, and it was a lot of fun.
yeah. Well, like I said, we you just seem like
Awesome.
awesome. Yeah. So that's why we wanted to have you on. You seem like you'd be
I'm just
fun
a
to.
fun-loving guy who loves wrestling, and
Exactly.
I love my kids. I love my little life I have right now. So honestly, you guys caught me at the best time.
Good.
2 years ago, I
Good.
probably wouldn't have been saying any of this. 3 years ago, definitely not. 5 years ago, probably wouldn't even be doing this at all. But the fact that I'm here now, I'm still wrestling. I got a beautiful family, and it's good to get my little story out there on the podcast. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's been a blessing. I hope to do some more, and I hope to see y'all at WrestleK too.
We will definitely come and say hello. Yeah.
And get our
Please
action
do.
figure,
So
Got
I don't even know how much we introduced ourselves. Yeah. So this is Asa, and
We skipped that, didn't
I
we?
we skipped that. Yeah, Asa, ASA, and K Fabulous, and
Yeah,
that when we go off, I'll tell you her real name. But that's her.
no worries. Hey,
My name so my
babe,
students can't
here
find me.
Say what?
so you gotta keep it kayfabe because there's a bunch of weirdos out there. So yeah, go back to Fabulous all the time. Otherwise,
Yeah.
people be like, "Hey, who is that? Wait, what?" It was like, get out of here. Yeah.
So lastly, anything you want to promote?
Well, I will be wrestling in Augusta, Georgia at I think 90 Millage Lane, November 23rd for IWE Pro Wrestling, ran by Timothy Blackman out in Augusta, Georgia. It's me and Billy Brash. I play a bad guy. I'm gonna be a piece of shit. They're gonna boo me a lot. Yeah, it's very different than what you see at AML. I'm very proud of the product and the what we've built there, especially from years past to where we are now for IWE. Very big shout out to them and their whole team. I'm excited for that. And of course, the next weekend will be WrestleCade weekend. Oh my goodness, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. My girlfriend's birthday's on Sunday. She's got to watch me wrestle all that weekend. So I got to try to be cool and wrestle, but still give her love because she love of my life. You got to pay respects. But at the same time, it's gonna be a long weekend. It's gonna be so much fun. WrestleCade weekend, Benton Convention Center. I do believe it's the 28th, 28th, 29th, 30th, or no, 29th, 30th, and the 1st.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
There's so much because it's a Thanksgiving weekend. It goes into that. So there's just so much. That's really about all I have lined up right now. And I'm gonna take the holidays off. I'm gonna keep working hard for my babies and buy them Christmas presents and just have fun. It's the baby.
Awesome.
It's the baby.
Baby Clementine.
Baby Clem. Baby Clem. Yeah. Everything's great. We love it.
Awesome.
More importantly, again, we're just getting ready for WrestleK. We're stocking up on all the merch. We're ready.
Well, we'll have some White Mike merch definitely.
Yeah.
I think after WrestleK we'll have a White Mike photo back here.
I should. Oh yeah, I'll definitely sign that bad boy too.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been great. And yeah, we'll see you at WrestleK.
Oh, awesome. Yes. Thank y'all so much. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, man. Have a good one.
Bye.
Oh yeah, y'all as well.